I want to share something that I do whenever I feel stuck in life. And this is something that not only has helped me, but has helped our clients, friends, anyone that was trying to achieve something, but felt like they were like at a plateau. And the reason I think this is very important, especially in today's day and age, is because there's so much information out there, especially with AI, that ends up almost hurting you sometimes more than helping you. I believe following this one principle will allow you to really be able to achieve things in life today that I personally believe is holding a lot of people back. And that simple principle is simplicity. And the reason I bring this up is because when you go online right now, and it doesn't matter what you're looking to achieve, whether you're looking to gain muscle, lose weight, start a business, learn how to edit videos. I mean, there's millions and millions of videos out there, blogs, articles telling you how you should do all these things. And the thing is, you get information overload, and then you're even wondering which one should you follow. And this is the problem in today's world where there's so many people creating content. I'm one of them. But I know like I was in this place multiple times, and that's why like I'm sharing this, because hopefully it can help you overcome your plateau or overcome that first step, which is the most important step in whatever you decide to do. And I'll share like a few examples in this video today just to showcase how it truly helped me or a client or a friend achieve our goals through simplicity. And I'll share one of my good friends and business partners. Hopefully, he won't be upset that I'm bringing him up. But one of my good friends, which has been on my YouTube channel before, which is Raw, who owns Raw Media, he's a perfectionist. Like, he has every item that you can think of in the content space. When it comes to the editing, it has to be like perfect, dialed in, and everything. And this is good, and me telling him, yo, keep it simple, he's going to fight me back and say, well, I am who I am because of my quality and stuff like that, which is true. But people end up using that to a level where it becomes an excuse and it almost becomes uncomfortable to change. And the issue there is, yes, maybe you have become who you are because of your complex system and you spending millions of hours researching everything, every single button, and so forth. There's a level to it, but there's also a level where you start hitting a plateau because it's a little too overcomplicated. So, for example, you can become an amazing videographer, photographer, but that's you. That's your skill set. When it's time to scale and you keep on attempting to keep that same level of quality, it's going to be very hard because that next person that you hire, they're not going to have that skill set. And you can train them, but it's going to take a lot of time to train them. And a lot of times people aren't that interested in it because obviously as a business owner, you have a lot more passion and love towards it versus an employee. That's one side of it. But then if you're not editing anymore, then you have to get the editor to be at the same level. You need to get the copywriter to be at the same level. There's so many different variables where it makes sense why people plateau as business owners, because you can only do so much at that high complex level until the system just breaks down. Or you just end up keeping that system at that plateau and you can't really scale. And I see this with clients as well, that we work with a lot of companies in the insurance space. And whenever they're trying to overcomplicate their business and lead gen process and so forth, you leave more room for error. The more complex something is, there's more things that can break. I mean, we see this happen with cars, where the old school cars, they hardly break down because, I mean, there's only so many pieces. While in today's car market and like the way they make their cars, there's so many new pieces. There's the computerized system, there's the new transmission, the dual quad clutch and all this. And there's just more things that can break. Same thing applies with everything else in our life. And, I kind of went down like the business side, but I even want to bring the health side to this video because right now, like so many people are preaching the keto diet, the vegan diet, the carnivore diet, how much protein you should be eating. So which program do you follow? And the more complicated you make this, the less likely you will commit to actually achieving your goal. I know this from personal experience because every time I try to overcomplicate my health side, like if I'm trying to gain more muscle, whatever it is, if I'm tracking like all the macros and if I'm like weighing all the meat and if I'm, really complicating a process, I'm probably going to give up because it's way overcomplicated. And the average person doesn't need to go that far down into systemizing everything when it comes to their health or whatever, the topic is. So my process is simple. Train 5 times a week, do weight training, try to have progressive overload. That's the only goal I have at the gym. Eat more protein and cut calories. I mean, it's as simple as that. And like, I somewhat know how much calories I eat and how much protein I eat because I've been doing it for some time. But I know if I'm gaining maybe too much fat, all right, let's just cut back on some calories. It's that simple. I'm not going to track exactly how many calories I'm eating. Or if I'm losing too much weight and, it's hindering my growth, then I'm going to add some extra calories. Hopefully they're healthy. And it's that simple. Like, I don't need to track every single calorie I ate. I don't need to count like every single protein I consume for that day. I know if I'm progressing or if I'm not. If I look in the mirror and I'm progressing, I'm doing the right thing. If I'm not, let's change it up. Maybe more protein, maybe less calories, whatever it is. And this holds true for so many things because the point of life overall is to not be exceptionally well in one main pillar. Obviously, one pillar will be the one that kind of changes your life. So if you like do dedicate a lot more to business, you will propel through the average income, which will allow you to live a better life. But you don't need to like overthink that process. You just need to push maybe a little bit harder in that pillar that's important to you, that maybe is making you money or is your purpose or whatever it is. And that's it. Like, I truly believe that if there was a graph from 0 to 100, meaning this is your ultimate that you'll ever get in a certain pillar, and then 0 is like the worst, the biggest growth happens probably at the 80% growth. But that doesn't take that much effort. Like, it just takes the average effort of me looking in the mirror and be like, all right, time to cut back on the bread. That's all it is. The extra 20% is me looking at like, all right, am I taking enough vitamin D supplements? Am I taking enough creatine? Am I taking, enough liquids in and stuff like that, which is cool if I really want to be maybe like a bodybuilding champion, but I don't, right? I don't need to think about all those little things because 80% is good enough. All you have to do in this life is be above average to be satisfied when you're comparing yourself to others, because at the end of the day, everything that we're doing, we're just doing it to compare ourselves to others. It doesn't matter if it's, related to your parents and you didn't spend enough time with your parents and now you want to spend more time with your kids, or if it's fitness, you just want to be better looking than the average person at the pool or the beach. If it's business, you just want to be better than the average person in your industry and how much money they're making. That's all it is. Do you want to be maybe like the number 1 or number 2 in your industry? Like maybe, but like I guarantee that it won't bring you that much more happiness. And that's the point of measuring all these pillars and pushing just above average, because what I see happen a lot of times is people put in so much extra energy to fill up that remaining 20% that they're missing out on the other pillars of life, which is, the social side, the health side, the freedom side, and so forth. So to me, working extra hard to really, hit the 100% like opportunity that I could in that pillar, it's just not worth it. Because, for example, if I'm making above average on the business and I'm maybe lacking on the family side, I'd rather dedicate some time into the family side. All right. And this is another pillar that I want to talk about in this video because it doesn't have to be complicated. We overthink and we overanalyze what we need to do to make us happy and maybe the other party, if there are two parties in that pillar, make them happy as well. For example, when it comes to, let's say, like the family social pillar in our life, a lot of us have goals where it's like, I want to buy my mom or dad a car. I want to buy them a house. I want to send them on a vacation to Greece, whatever it is. And that's kind of our goals that we set in our life to give back to them. Because all we're trying to do here is just say, hey, we appreciate you. I just want to give back to you, which is cool, right? You can definitely do those things. But it's a little overcomplicated because you have to make extra money to be able to do that. You have to get the timing right because maybe they don't have time to go to Greece or whatever. Maybe getting a car for them isn't practical. Maybe they don't even want a car, right? So realizing that the 80% to have a good relationship with your parents and kind of say, hey, I appreciate you. All you need to do is call them or text them daily. Like, that's all it is. It's as simple as that. And that's how easy it is to check off these important pillars in our life if you focus on simplicity versus the complex goal that you created and the complex plan that someone created. So texting your mom or your dad every night saying, hey dad, hey mom, hope you had a good day, love you, talk to you tomorrow. Like literally that text will make them a lot more happier than you not talking to them for a year and be like, hey, here's a new car. And that's the thing that a lot of people get wrong nowadays because, you know, you go on YouTube and you see people buying their parents a house or a car, and then you see their parents smiling at that moment. And then you're like, well, I need to do that. But if you dig deep and you read between the lines, a lot of times these creators will share how, you know, maybe they're not in the best relationship status with their parents right now because maybe they got too busy, they haven't like been communicating with them, they haven't showed up to a holiday dinner, whatever it is. So if there's anything that you can take away from this video, is the importance of keeping life as simple as possible until you fulfill 80% of each pillar. And then if you have extra time and resources and you want to allocate more to one pillar and fill the gap of the 20%, do it. But it's usually not necessary. So the pillars are freedom, making sure that you have free time, social, when it comes to family and friends, financial, health, and those are the main ones. So if you feel like you're lacking in any of those pillars or you've been sitting around researching businesses and working on a business plan, keep it simple. If you're writing a book, keep it simple. If you're looking to plan a trip somewhere and, you know, it's information overload, keep it simple. Just buy the flight ticket and go there. You'll figure it out. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much you plan, no matter how much you think you can control what will happen in the future, it usually never plays out that way. And I truly believe that you can only connect the dots going backwards. So if you understand that, all you have to do is just take that first step. Because your planned second, third, fourth, fifth step will probably not happen as you planned. So just take that first step, even if you're not ready. Take that first step, and that first step will tell you what you need to do for step 2, step 3, step 4, because you will fail. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do a business, or if you're trying to spend more time with the family, or, you know, maybe fix a relationship with another family member, or if you're trying to get into shape, no matter what plan you create, you probably will fail. And that's literally part of the process. And that's how you end up optimizing whatever you're doing. You start with something and you optimize. Like, I started going to the gym. I'm lifting certain weights and I'm doing certain exercises, and I can see if it's working or not for me. And if it's not really working, even though we consider that a fail, to me it's just like, okay, that's not working for me. Let's readjust it. And it's really that simple. Don't overcomplicate whatever you're looking to achieve in life. Just go for it. And I promise you that whatever you're scared of losing, you can always go back to what you're doing. If you're worried about losing your job, you can always go back to your job. If you're worried about going to the gym and not hitting your goals, guess what? You're gonna stay the way you look anyways if you don't change anything. If you don't text your mom every night or your dad, that phone is there anyways, right? You have that time anyways. It takes 2 minutes to shoot that text over. All these things are here anyways. So why not try to fulfill all these pillars and just follow a simple process to achieve that? Because I guarantee you, if you do those things for 12 months, your life will completely change. You'll start making more money. You're going to start looking better and feeling better. You're going to have better relationships, and you're just going to be happier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, hit the button below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.